What's up, guys? Jeff here with Godbold Exotics. Figured I would actually do a little bit of an update, something I haven't done in a while. As some of you guys know, I have gotten into locality boas. They've been really fun, and I kind of used this term in the last, I guess when I talked about them before, but they've been a little bit of a breath of fresh air when it comes to some of the species that I work with. So anyway, I figured I'd pull a couple of them out. You guys could see kind of how they're growing, and you know, that's that. So anyway, I figured I'd just do an update on these guys. So this is my female Sonoran. So she is a visual hypo. Great feeder, but man, she is just outstanding as far as her color. Just a really pretty animal, and really laid back. You know, I like these dwarf locales, the smaller ones. They're just really cool animals. The colors are just outstanding. So what I want to breed her to is actually a hypo leopard male. I think the hypo leopards look really cool. It's the only morph that I actually like with these guys, and they are 100% pure Sonoran. So that's kind of the goal. I have not picked up a male. I know a buddy of mine that's got some babies that are coming, so I'm just kind of waiting, and I'm not in any rush to pick one up. But anyway, this is a Sonoran. These guys are a Mexican locality of boa. They do not get very big. So anyway, just figured I'd take her out. Now she's a visual hypo, meaning she lacks the black pigment. I'll put her back in here, and pull this guy out. Now, you guys know I have Tamaulipas cloud forest boas. That's what these guys are. They are also a Mexican locality of boa. Very cool animals. Now this is the male, and he's actually got a pink belly. I'm not sure if you can see that, but he's really dark. So these guys are really laid back, a lot of fun. All of these animals that I'm taking out tonight are absolutely just outstanding feeders. There is no like teasing or anything like that. But this guy hisses at me sometimes. I'll open the tub and he'll do the, opens his mouth and kind of hisses like, hey, don't bug me. But he's a really cool animal. He's all bluff. He's never bit me. And all of the ones that I have are just really cool. And one thing I like about boas, especially these, not just the Tamaulipas, but like all of the boas that I'm pulling out tonight, and this is same thing with the red tails, is they actually are very, they have kind of like a velvety feeling to their skin. I've kept a lot of different boas. I've got Brazilian rainbows, I've got Amazons, I've had emeralds. Very different feeling and texture to the scales on red tails, these Tamaulipas, the Sonorans, the Peruvian longtails, any of that whole clad of boas, the BCC, BCL, BCI, all that stuff. It's very velvety, the feeling. So anyway, I really like that. I think they're very unique. And the older they get, like you see this a lot with pythons, when they grow, they kind of dull out. Well, these guys, the color a lot of times intensifies. These boas that I'm pulling out. So anyway, this is the male. I'm going to get you the female. I'm actually going to keep him out because you got to see the difference in color. So this is the female. Can you see the difference? She's like a pink, like a pink color, and that's probably really hard to pick up. I've got a light in here that's kind of helping me because it's not the brightest, but very pretty, and she definitely has more of a pink hue to her, and he's just very dark. So I'm gonna actually put him back. if I can get her underbelly. Now it looks a little beige, kind of from what I can see in the camera, like playing it back to me, but she's actually very, very pink. Really, really cool pattern, especially here on the sides. But these guys are coming into their own. Again, these are the Tamaulipas Cloud Forest Boas. They're another smaller Mexican locality. These guys, one thing that's cool about these Tamaulipas Cloud Forest Boas is they started with one pair. That's it. Now, naturally, they're a kind of isolated locale, so nature has, I don't know the right way to say this, but basically you don't run into genetic deformations based off line breeding with these guys like you do a lot of other species of snakes, because in the wild they're secluded. You can't really get to them. They're kind of cut off from everything else. So in the wild they're breeding, sibling to sibling. They're not really going far or traveling far. So all these started with one pair. So if you have pure Tamaulipas Cloud Forest Boas, my understanding in my talk, I actually did this on my last Corrales radio show with Vin Russo. We talked about these guys, but they're all related. So at least here in the U.S. But they're really, really cool. I like them a lot. They're just absolutely beautiful. The lighting here does not do them justice. I mean, this animal is it's kind of a light beige, but it's just pink. It's just a pink animal, especially here on the sides. Anyway, this is the female. She's really, really cool. I like her a lot. These next guys I'm going to pull out. They're not really a dwarf species, but they are a species that doesn't get quite as big as like, your Sonoran, your Colombians. Anyway, now these guys are BCL. These are the Peruvian locality of longtail boa. This is my male here. Now, one thing I like about these guys is, whereas the first animal I pulled out is lacking any black pigment, these guys actually gain a lot of the black pigment. So there is an increasing an IMG gene with the Peruvian longtails to where they do actually gain black as they get on. Now these guys just have a ton of contrast. Again, if I can get this animal's head up, you got to see the head pattern on this animal. Let me see if I can get him up. Hey, dude. That's probably about as good as I'm going to get, but very, very placid, very laid back. Now these animals are young, and I'm not really pushing food down their throat, so I'm not like really, growing them up, super fast or anything. They all are really, really good feeders. This guy is a little bit of a fussy eater for me. At this point, it's been he's eaten for me when I've left stuff in overnight twice, but like this last time he refused. Now he takes live no matter what, so I don't really like feeding live, and I try to avoid it if I can. But anyway, this is the male. Again, this is Boa constrictor longicauda. So this is the BCL, and this is these guys are Peruvian locale. Now this is the girl here, and she's just freaking awesome. I mean, I have not had this animal for a full 6 months, and I've already seen increase in melanin coming in, especially here on the sides, man. Just tons and tons of black coming in. She is just awesome. She's got, it looks like someone painted on her face. Like, her markings are just so cool. She's kind of checking things out right now, but it's almost like she's got eyeliner on. Just a beautiful, beautiful animal. These guys are going to get a little bit bigger. I've never had adults, but from what I understand, don't kill me if I'm wrong here, but I think we're looking at somewhere in the 6 foot range for these guys. But just beautiful. Look at that head. I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to show you guys. That, to me, is what sells this species for me. I absolutely love that head and that neck and that pattern. It's like somebody painted it on the snake. Black and like a light gray contrast color. Just, I love it. Just a very, very pretty species. The saddles to me are just really, really cool. Again, a lot of black coming in on these guys. Just really, really awesome species. I'm absolutely stoked to have them. Probably one of my favorite species, if not my favorite species, in the red tail clad. Now these guys, I know these guys are not red tail boas, so you guys don't like freak out on me, but you know what I'm talking about. That kind of clad, like BCC, BCL, you know, boa constrictor. That's that of all the boa constrictor. That's kind of like probably one of my favorites. Another favorite would probably be Argentine or Argentine boas. I love the Argentines, and I love just the true red tails. I love the Surinams. I love the Guianas, the Iquitos, Peruvian red tail boa. I love those animals. They just get a little bit bigger, and especially the Surinams and the Guianas. So I don't have the room for them. I would love to get some. I have been on the fence of getting some of Jeff Ronnie's Prodigy, I guess is what they're called, his line. From what I've been told, they are 100% pure Colombian. At least that's what Jeff claims. And I just love that look of animal, but you're talking about an animal that's going to get like this big around. It's going to need a decent sized cage, and right now I just don't have the room for that. So, well, I mean, I could make room, but I'd have to get rid of Amazons and stuff that I'm not ready to get rid of. But anyway, just figured I'd do a little bit of an update with you guys. This is the female boa constrictor longicauda, or BCL, or otherwise known as the Peruvian longtail boa. Just very, very, very pretty. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know the content lately has not been the most exciting, but it has been informative. I hope you guys are liking it. And we've got some fun stuff coming down the pipeline. At the end of this month, I'm actually headed to Ohio and Indiana. I'm meeting up with, you guys know that one of our sponsors is Cold-Blooded Cafe. Really stoked because I'm going to be actually filming Forrest's breeding op with his rodents. But I'm also going to look at some of his, he's got an absolutely amazing emerald tree boa colony. He's got probably the largest Abronia colony in the U.S., maybe the world, arguably. And he's got a ton of monitors. So I'm going to be filming that stuff. I'm going to film, actually, you guys hear me always talking about his rodents. I'm going to film that side of it. I want you guys to know why I believe so highly in Cold-Blooded Cafe. That's going to be the last weekend of this month in July. And I am also, we're going to be headed up to the Reptarium because I'm going to be meeting up with Brian Barczyk. I want to see some of his stuff. At least some of the stuff he keeps there. I want to look at those cages. You guys know I'm kind of a geek for that stuff. And I think we are going to be doing something. Forrest has told me we're doing something at Toledo Zoo. I don't know what it is, but he's apparently got a contact there. And we'll see what happens. But I really appreciate you guys watching the videos, being patient. As you guys know, I'm not after subs. I'm kind of doing my thing, and I do things the way I like to do things, and I try to cover a lot of obscure stuff and stuff that's a little unusual. And the guys that, or the people that watch my YouTube channel know that that's what I'm into, and you guys, I think, are awesome, and I really appreciate it. So, oh, here, let's be random. Speaking of, this is what I'm talking about. So this is stuff you're not going to find really on anything else. Frontenax, neotropical bird snake. I've got 2 of these guys. They were produced by Jason Hood, but they are very, very cool animals. Anyway, I'll do an update on them another time because they are awesome, and they look like little vipers. And when they grow, they go through like their teenage stage, kind of as like an ugly stage, sort of like people, you know, teenagers. Haha, boom. Anyway, but then they grow into these animals that are just totally different than what you see. I mean, bright reds and grays and lavenders and yellows, all of this stuff. Really, really cool animals. If you guys want to see adults, go back to my Tinley episode where I actually interviewed Jason Hood, and we actually pull out some adults, and you guys can see them. You can see some of the babies. Really, really cool animals. I was on the fence with them until I saw that episode, and I'm like, dude, these are like Amazon tree boas, but with a colubrid. So anyway, I'm hooked. I have a pair, and I'm just stoked to be working with them. But that wasn't what I was planning on doing. It's just I get all sidetracked when I'm in here, and I start pulling tubs out. You never know what I'm going to pull out. So anyway, I hope you guys like this. Keep following because these guys aren't going anywhere. I am moving a couple projects out. I'm actually getting the entire collection out of the house so that I will have a climate controlled kind of like snake shed type deal. And I'm excited, but in order for me to fund that, I had to actually sell a few projects. Not any of the stuff you saw tonight. But anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, you guys have been watching Godbold Exotics. Hey, and subscribe. Doesn't do me any good if you're just going to watch the video. I'm just kidding. Watch the videos. But please subscribe. Please. All right. Peace. Bye. Oh, happy 4th of July. It's the 4th of July. What? God bless America. All right. So this is better lighting. With my boas, I figured I'd show you guys. It's late afternoon. You can see natural colors. So these are the boa constrictor longicauda, or the Peruvian longtail boas. That's the female right there. You could tell why I like the pattern on these guys so much. I love the black melon that creeps up. And this is the male right here. He is no slouch at all. They're both very handleable, and as you can see, I like to do my water bowls in blue and pink, as I do with everything, to show if it's male or female, unless I've completely run out. But anyway, see if I can. He just ate, so he may not be all that interested in moving around, so I'm not going to mess with him too much, but he's just a really cool boa. This species is just awesome, and she looks like she's kind of ready to have at me, but she's not too bad. These guys have never hissed at me or anything. You just go in there and grab them. Beautiful, beautiful species. I mean, the head on them is just awesome. Doesn't get much better than that. And they don't get too big, so they stay pretty manageable in size. Okay, let me grab my hypo Sonoran so you guys can see her. All right, can I just say I absolutely love this animal? I love this animal, and she's actually going into shed too. Again, she just ate for me as well. But she's a hypo, and that is because she's void of any black. So you can kind of tell there's a lot of brown. I'm gonna pull her out so you can see her tail, but she is just awesome. Again, very, very placid, laid back, but look at the color. It's just awesome. Check this tail out. Just beautiful. Very, very, very orange. It's going to get more orange as she grows. One thing that's really cool about these hypos is they do not dull out at all. They actually get brighter with age, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful animal. Get her against the black. She's actually on my trampoline, so it'll show her colors pretty good. If I can get her to chill out here. There we go. Kind of, maybe not. Perfect. She's beautiful. Very, very cool. Oh man, that is just awesome. I could just sit here and stare at her forever. Okay, I'm gonna get my Tamaulipas Cloud Forest Boas. Okay, so these are the Tamaulipas Cloud Forest Boas. This is the female. I was trying to explain to you guys how much pink she had. I think all these guys are gonna be going into shed pretty soon. And this is the male, much darker. These guys actually go through a little bit of a color change. That's my AC unit, sorry. But they go through a little bit of a color change as they go through night and day, depending on the mood. But I'm gonna get the male out here. Now these guys are growing pretty good, but he's still got some pinks. You know, that's actually orange underneath. See if I can turn him over here. See that? Very, very cool. But these guys are beautiful. Love these animals. Really, really dark tail, kind of a reddish rust color. Clean pattern. Just really, really cool boas, and these guys stay pretty small. This is the female here. Very pink. So one thing that's really cool is, you know, these animals, from my understanding, are clutch or litter mates. Look at all that orange. But even if they weren't, they're from the same pair, because there's only one pair that all these ones in captivity came from. And look at the variability when compared to the two. He's always been darker and she's always been lighter. Now these guys will go through a little bit more of a color change as they get older, but they're not going to dull out. Just really, 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 really cool animals. And he's actually got some blushing there by his mouth. You can kind of see. I'm pretty partial to this color versus this color. I like the lighter pink on these guys, but they're not, you know, they're so variable that it doesn't really matter that this one is darker. I'm sure that they will have babies. You know, I do love his belly. But I'll have to see what they look like right after they shed. They're not like in blue, but I don't know, it just kind of looks like they're gonna be shedding sometime soon. Awesome feeders, very docile. I could have my kids pick these guys up. I wouldn't worry about them at all. Now the male has hissed at me a couple times, but like boas, I mean, all the boas, they're all bluff. He's never struck at me. He'll open his mouth, and then when I go in and grab him, he just closes it and does what he just did, which was nothing. Check that out. That is just awesome. Anyway, hope you guys liked these. I know I talked a little bit about them last night, but I thought it would probably be better to get them out in the natural light, and you know, you guys can see them. I mean, they're pretty bulletproof. They'll eat whatever you offer them. You can take them out and handle them. All the boas that I have put in this video were like that. You know, I'm not worried about, you know, temperatures. They don't come down with RIs if, you know, everything's not perfect. I mean, they're just really, really easy. They actually kind of remind me in some ways of carpet pythons, because they seem to be kind of like a put snake in tub and forget about type of species, or at least all the ones I'm keeping are. But anyway, hope you guys liked them, and yeah, talk to you guys later.